Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the quarterfinal stage of our journey on the Corsace Closed Metro line. My name is Dimash. Joining me for this match between mcy4 and Decaten is the lovely and awesome Sad Shiva. How are you doing, my dude?
Thank you, Dami. You're too kind. Thank you. What is up? Cannot wait. This is probably one of the most exciting matchups of the round at the moment because both of these guys, I think it's safe to say, are so similar in their strengths and weaknesses that you're really looking at some really serious clashes with a lot of maps. I'm looking forward to seeing what bans and what pocket picks they'll go for later on in the tournament. Maybe we'll see some really early on into the match as well. But mcy4, I think, definitely seems to be leaning towards more to being the favorite this match. He's been on an absolute rampage for the last couple rounds and has set some really impressive stuff. So decaten, despite having a decent odds, still equally being a very strong player, is on a little bit of a, I think, underdog round in this one. But I still can't wait. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, again, you talked about those bans. Some interesting choices that we saw from both players. You know, mcy4 is potentially looking to take out some of those speed picks that we saw in the like we did in the last round. You know, that DT2, that nomod 5. Could see it again here. Decaten obviously more comfortable banning those, you know, low approach rate maps like that hidden 2 in particular, and possibly that nomod 6 as well. So it should be an interesting set of choices there. There's the nomod 6 and nomod 1, interestingly, from mcy4.
Yeah, surprised to see this ban come through, honestly. I was thinking this to be one of the maps that we'd be seeing a clash on. If we're looking at both these players, their super strengths are in ult, tech, control, aim, and hard rock. Those are like your main categories for both of these guys. So hidden is an exciting outlier. Double time, I think, leans a little bit more for decaten. Tapping leans more for mcy4. So those are your differences really that you're emphasizing here. Hidden is something that I honestly can't really predict. I think it's safe to say that decaten is definitely afraid of the gimmick, with that hidden 2 being a potential future ban if mcy4 doesn't pick it. But for now, it's time to get into the hidden 3, which is decaten's entry pick into this match here. Non-binarity, a super funky tech control map with that hidden stacked on top, making it just a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, you've got that finger control, that aim control in this one. You know, a lot of changes in beat snap dividers. It's kind of similar to what we had in the Hard Rock 3 slot last week, but we've switched it around and popped it in the hidden pool for this week. And decaten is off to a good start here.
Yeah, both players dropping a little bit of combo towards the start of the map, so no Giant FC still holding strong, but decaten with that recovery still looking good. mcy drops once again, coincidentally after that break, and as we get into that side of ramp-up section, decaten is quickly to follow through. However, that combo that he established earlier, just before this section, does give him a bit of a score lead in 30,000, but still, it's very even. Both combos still exactly the same, and as we get into this really difficult section, if anybody drops here, it might lead to a giant advantage that will slowly start to build, and down goes decaten. It's still mcy4 to hold on. Can he hold on just before the ending? He does, and there's the break. Halfway through the map exactly, and mcy4 knows his spot. He may be 20,000 points down, but that combo game is going to really help him. Accuracy practically dead even. It's all up to the build-up in the next half of the map for him to maybe get an advantage back.
Yeah, you got a bit of a slower section here, which does now build up into these sliders. It just helps build the combo, build a bit of tension. But mcy4 is going to know he's ahead going into this latter half of the map. Still needs to gain the score lead at this stage. And with decaten with slightly better accuracy, you are looking at a potential recovery if mcy4 makes another mistake. Going into this last quarter, here we go, back and forth. No one finding any breaks just yet. Gotta watch for these buzz sliders. They will catch you out. There's a slider break from mcy4 though.
And there's not a lot. There's still a little bit of time left for decaten to build. It's only 2,000, and decaten's going to get the advantage now. He's not seeing the break though. He's just got to keep on building and hope that mcy4 doesn't build anything towards the very end. They both trade it, and there's the combo reset. Decaten, by 17,000 score, manages to claim it back, thankfully for him. mcy4 has some good potential, but with that trailing combo from decaten, the first one to fall would be the one to lose it. And as we start to get into this very tame ending section, there's simply not enough combo for anyone to build, but still the score lead very, very closely in Decaden's favor. That could have really been anybody's map. And thankfully for Decaden, it goes in his favor. His first pick does lead him to a first point on the board.
Yeah, close little back and forth between the two of them there. Especially toward the end. mcy4 had the perfect opportunity. But again, those intense sections really are difficult to consistently hit. And as you can see, Decaten narrowly squeezes away with the victory there.
Yeah, very nicely done from Decaden. Very big threat is mcy4, and managing to get as many advantages as you can possible is going to be very, very good for your odds. But mcy4, he's going to be leaning into the tapping here. Now, I think mcy4 has been quite well known recently throughout the last year to not mainly be a strong tapping player, but definitely one who has improved. We've seen a lot of giant matchups from him where he has struggled massively, but maybe has moments where he can pull off some miraculous comebacks. But it seems like mcy4 now is going to pounce on a giant weakness here of Decaden's. Decaden may be good on the raw speed, he may be good on the control DT, and he may be good on the double time ones, but if there's anything that Decaden is known to struggle on, it is that stamina. And this No Mod 2, despite having lots of flow aim in it, which is emphasized here, stamina is the next most difficult test in this one.
Yeah, we've got that kind of... It's very similar to the previous week. Not much has changed here. You've got the increased test of flow aim with the accelerating and decelerating streams you've got to watch out for. Decaten going to be finding those early misses as well. The bridge section of this as well has got some nasty sliders that'll catch you out. But mcy4 also finding a bit of struggle in terms of adjusting to this map, but definitely Decaten has come off worse here in terms of the accuracy, so definitely some catching up to do on that front.
Yeah, so far so good here for both players. Early drop from Decaden giving mcy4 a bit of leeway to build some combo before his drop. But both these combos are still really close. It's time to get into the key eye now where the stream starts to really ramp up and the stamina starts to hit. You can see a consistent pattern with these streams where the start of the streams get very spaced as it starts to close in again. Accel decel to a absolute T. And as these streams start to hit a little bit of a peak here, both players seem to be holding very safely. And thankfully for Decaden, that advantage still remains solidified. 29,000 score is what's separating him at the moment. But that trail is really, really close. It's the accuracy difference which is giving mcy4 that leeway to still hold on. As long as that combo game remains, this is going to be a really tall task for Decaden to build. He's going to have to hold for possibly the entirety of the map here. And the streams get really dangerous, and that miss is not going to help him. mcy4 may trade, but it's still 30,000 in his leeway in his court. What much can he do?
Yeah, the accuracy deficit is really hurting him right now, and as he's just trading that combo with mcy4, it's neck and neck. You have to just pray. And mcy4, the accelerating streams do not catch either of them out. The jumps they get through as well. So now we'll be going into the last quarter. Decaten will need to see a break from mcy4 to have any chance of going into this, because that score margin has not gone anywhere since the beginning of the map.
That drop, though, is going to definitely spell the end, surely now. mcy4, all he can really do is hope for a chain miss for from mcy4 at this point for Decaden. Outside of that, though, it's all mcy4. It's safe to say that the stamina definitely leans in his favor. Decaden, though, is making a decent effort. It's just long-term. Those 100 drops throughout the map just isn't going to help him at all. It really was that accuracy battle that led to the dramatic fall on the score combo and this combo advantage. The potential that he had on this was there, but the act just really hit him hard, and that in turn is going to give mcy4 the point as we start to approach the ending. 400 combo built with nothing for Decaden to back up, and that in turn will be a traded pick win for mcy4. Even if he misses at the end, it doesn't matter. It's 1-1.
Right, that it is. All things are level once again. Again, both of them had the potential. You see, Decaten had the better combo, but mcy4 with the better accuracy. Both of them won the No Mod 2 last week, so it's an interesting battle to see them go on this one, but clearly one more comfortable than the other in terms of accuracy. 4%, not even close when you look at that 112,000 score.
Back-to-back points so far. So nothing too crazy, but both of these points have been very close. I'm very happy with this matchup. I love the dynamic with these two players. So many maps in this pool where you really cannot say who can win. You really don't. And that just makes this so much more exciting. Even if it's a map that was unfavored towards Decaten, there were chances, man. There were combo games where he could have won it. You know, will we boys be stand up to be the next picker for Decaden in the double time 3? Definitely something that's leaning up his alley. It still has that little degree of tapping in it, but it's more based on its control. The stamina really isn't a matter to worry about here for these players. And Decaden is definitely capable. He's set some great scores on maps that are similar to this, and I think it's safe to say it's a comfort pick for him. So I'm expecting some good stuff from both of these players, but Decaden definitely the favorite.
Yeah, you've got the difference with this DT3. It's a real hybrid style of map. You know, you've got a lot of flow aim and aim control with some nasty different types of cut patterns. But again, it's finger control focused for the most part. But it is a real different type of map when you compare it to the previous week's DT3, which you know was much more all finger control. Like 190 BPM old, so we'll see if that dynamic plays or has a difference here. mcy4 did lose on previous week's DT3, whereas Decaten was successful, so that's probably why he's leaned into this pick, but both of them looking very comfortable in this first quarter.
Yeah, I think although you are right in the sense that both of these maps are both the maps in this week's and last week's being decently different, they still have that same category of that DT control via aim or finger control. And either way, both of them are very good. Despite Decaden taking the lead last week, so far, mcy4 has been extremely comfortable. 99.83 accuracy in the first out of the map. There's still quite a bit to go, though. And Decaden, does still have that full combo. So there's no dramatic disadvantage here for either player. It seems to be a similar pattern of mcy4 just slightly out-acting him to give that lead just a little bit in his favor. And it will start to build slowly but surely, but anyone can break, especially towards the ending where the doubles get way spacier and the control just gets way more difficult.
Yeah, there is a bit of scaling with this map, so people tend to bring in those bigger combos, but the ending is still worth a lot, especially when you've got big combos. You drop at similar times, and there's the first one. Decaten going to be going down. mcy4 now looking to right the wrongs of last week, trying to regain the speed element under his belt, and he's doing it very, very well in this bridge section.
Yeah, the first part of the map that I would consider to be one of the most difficult parts that you have to hold on to is that section that Decaden is to have missed on. mcy4 keeping himself composed and hitting the rest of that as well. He still has that full combo, and that's just going to soar in his favor now. It has gone from 20k to 250k, and it still continues to fly now. Decaden is trying his best to recover as the hardest part of the map comes through, and he may be hitting it, but what can you do against a full combo that just refuses to let you go? 99.73 as well. Absolutely phenomenal like hit from mcy4. He may slide a break towards the end, but I think the damage has already been done. 910,000 score and building now. And mcy4 finally will get the first breakpoint. Well, not finally, it's only been 3 maps, but you know, still a big breakpoint for him. In the pre-ban stage, a breakpoint is absolutely essential, and that's going to definitely emphasize with this momentum here. So good stuff from mcy, brilliant stuff.
Yeah, he goes ahead and breaks the deadlock. Decaten obviously leaning into that idea of DT3 being a strong pick for him, and it's not even a bad score when you look at it. 5 misses. It's the same miscount, but mcy4 just combo gaming out of his mind and then struggling on the last section when he did start to miss. So a bit of an unlucky RNG roll on that one, but hey, you never know. mcy4 might pick something that Decaten is actually quite strong on this week. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a tough adjustment. You know, the map was consistently around the same difficulty for quite a while. Then as you get that first major spike, Decaten was just not ready for it. The cuts are really devious. I don't blame him. They're really tough. And mcy4, unfortunately, was the more prepared man. And it's going to be DT2 that he's going into, continuing to lean into that stamina benefit here. I think we were expecting decaten to maybe abuse more DT, but with that DT3 being one against MCY, he might be a bit more comfortable on it, a bit more confident. Granted, this is stamina heavy, so maybe not this one, but maybe the upcoming DT1 might be something that mcy4 is thinking about after winning so emphatically on that DT3. But here we go, a more obvious pick there from him, once again abusing a strong weakness here of decaten's, the raw stamina. And you already see it here, accuracy drops galore. The long streams here really are a struggle here for decaten, not able to hold on to act consistently. Thankfully for combo, it's going well, but that's not really what's going to matter on a map this dense in notes.
Yeah, again, there's going to be a bit of adjustment to this kind of map from what we saw before. But again, it's all focused on death streams, and I'm surprised to not see decaten banned into this. Because normally you're in a situation where either one player or the other bans, but actually you start to see those death streams really start to knock the accuracies down. It's an incredible amount of strain on your tapping hand in this kind of scenario, and quarter the way through the map, nobody's holding it above 90%, which kind of gives insight into just how draining this map actually is. And it's more about trying to hit the notes accurately than it is about building combo, because you can almost try and double tap this, but you're going to drop so much accuracy anyway, it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, this map is a stamina player's dream. If you are comfortable on this is probably quite enjoyable, to be honest. Just satisfying, just getting all those notes shredded through. And mcy4 despite struggling on the accuracy, looking great in the combo game. That miss from decaten, along with the tragic accuracy struggles here, are just going to keep him with that lead. We did see a chain from mcy4 earlier on one of the death streams, but he recovered pretty swiftly, so no swing in favor of decaten's, thankfully. And yeah, just because this is a weakness of decaten's does not necessarily mean this is a strength of mcy4's. I feel like if he was against another one of the stronger mechanics players, he would be banning this immediately. But thankfully, the combo game still remains in his favor. He's putting up to 1,000 combo now into the next third of the map. Granted, accuracy not too favorable, but I guess on a map like this, it's not too big of a deal in all honesty. The combo gaming is really helping him out right now. decaten just cannot get his foot off the starting ground. And in all honesty, I don't blame him. This is a brutal map.
Yeah, talk about these high-intensive 228 BPM death streams. I mean, anything above kind of 50 notes. I think there's something in the region of like 3,000 notes and 20 sliders or something around there in terms of map varieties. You're just talking pure circle clicking madness, and there's very few players who can play this. This is why it's been such a highly banned map. So I do feel that decaten not banning this, I don't want to say it's a mistake, because I think he may have lost his other pick as well, but it's an unfortunate that it was left open for the second ban phase.
Yeah, and as the stream starts to really ramp up a little bit in velocity here, both players are hitting a giant struggle, but 220,000 score is so astronomical here for MCY. And honestly, hats off to MCY for hitting so much combo for a good while on this map. That is definitely respectable. I knew he made an improvement on his tapping stamina by quite a bit, but by this level, I did not expect. So even if the Yak struggles, that combo game, while still hitting the notes properly, is very impressive. So big respect to MCY for that. And yeah, decaten is trying to combo game, but I just think it's too little too late. That Ak as well is just such a giant deficit to him. More than an entire 10% against him. So even if he was to build a giant combo game towards the end, I don't see a reality where decaten's going to be able to pull anything back. 220,000 score is far too insurmountable for him, unfortunately. And even then, the stamina hits a peak in this map. You know, if you thought the general map was hard, if you thought throughout some of the death streams it was hard, this just is ridiculous. This is demon. decaten, no. Hold on a second, he just hit that whole thing. Oh, he misses just afterwards. Okay, that was really cool. Well done, decaten. That was really sick, but not enough, unfortunately. That was impressive, though. I respect him for that. Well done.
Yeah, it's such a long map. You saw earlier on there was a 50-note stream, all under the same combo. Yeah, it's just
4 minutes on DT. That's foul.
It's pretty disgusting. But that is a disgusting combo from mcy4 on this map. Very good score. I don't think anyone's going to knock Decaten for this kind of for getting that kind of score, because to be honest, the map just is very hard to get a high score on. But mcy4 just being able to avoid not having low AC basically made the difference regardless of the combo.
Yeah, definitely. Nicely done here from mcy4. Making a very tactical choice in his picks. It's time to get into the second ban stage now. You've got a good taste of what they're capable of. I think his bans are going to be relatively predictable here, but for MCY, I'm not sure. You know, we could just go with the cop-out answer and be like, yeah, probably Hard Rock 1. But you never know. We might see something different. The Discord stream is down, by the way. We can't see the ban. We can't see the bans, and in case anyone was curious. So let me just quickly just verify. So the ban is Hard Rock 2. Okay, I'm surprised by this, Dimash. The Hard Rock 2 ban? Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Decaten's a mouse player, so definitely naturally going to be a little bit more gifted on precision. But I remember mcy4 being very strong on precision. I would have thought this would be a toss-up pick. What do you think?
Well, we did see that Scroll in Decaten's previous match banned the Hard Rock 2 against Decaten. So it's understandable. Even though mcy4 won on Midorigo Queen Bee last week, it was a very different map to this one. So it's not really too much of a surprise to see it, because you had much more streams in Hard Rock 2 last week, whereas this is much more finger control based. But again, the Hidden 2, I'm disappointed to see it go because it's such a great song. But
I remember you saying you wanted to see this, didn't you, when you
I
were
was
casting
desperate.
yesterday? Yeah.
I was desperate. Didn't happen. But yeah. So no custom for us. We get Hard Rock 3 instead, which is just as brutal in an entirely different way due to its pure flow aim element. You know, it's all about the flow aim with the 160 BPM streams. You've got the slider jumps as well. Other than that, once you're able to adapt to this map, it's very consistent in terms of what it's asking for. It's just hitting that for all of the difficult bits consistently for an extended period of time. I think this map's over 3 minutes long.
Yeah, this is another one of those long tests where you have some of those really difficult flow patterns. And hold on, this is a really scary jump section here. I just thought I'd mention it as we're talking about the map. This just runs consistently, and despite not being objectively too difficult jumps, we've seen some really strong players just slip up on those just purely out of the intensity and consistently having to deal with it. And as we get into the Kiai now, where we see more of that traditional flow and that's presented in this map here, mcy4 is going to be the first to drop, traded not too far afterwards by Decaten, and the score advantage purely by just a minuscule accuracy difference is giving mcy4 the lead, but only by a tiny bit. General combo as well, the timing of his miss giving him a little bit higher combo. So it's still very, very even, both these players right now, dropping at practically the exact same time. Only a tiny, tiny AC advantage for mcy4. Outside of that, it's very, very close. It could still be anyone's game. And as we get into the verse section, you are going to see a couple moments where it might lead to a trip up, but overall the combo build-up is going to be really essential here. As long as nobody slips off on any of the less difficult patterns here before the Ki, it's most likely going to be that Ki that's going to spell a potential outcome for both of these players. Another jump section here. Anyone going to miss?
Yeah, you've got these kind of very reminiscent of it's the old 2012 style of linear jump mapping that you see in things like Airman and Big Black. It's all that same kind of era of mapping, which is really cool to see in the modern format. But yeah, again, good recovery from both of these players, though.
Yeah, as we get into this Ki here, still both of these guys holding on to fantastic combos. mcy4 is gaining a bit of an advantage, though, slowly going up from 5k to 15k into past the second Ki. Both players still hitting it excellently here. This is going to get really intense soon as the stakes start to ramp up more and more, as both players start to realize that they're on a very high hot streak and neither player wants to really back it down. That big space jump there, not missed by anybody. This tiny combo advantage from mcy4 is really big, but it's going to go down, actually. And as we get into the guitar solo, decaten has to hold it just a little bit longer, but he misses. He does still have the score lead, but it's so close. He's not going to be able to build enough. He misses on the space lights and the space stream. And that might have just spelled the end, potentially. Combo advantage now on mcy4 by about 120. And that chain miss is going to deduct his score just a tiny bit here for decaten. It has to be the sending section where you have to hope for a break from mcy4. It's going neck and neck now as anybody's play here. Anybody could do this, but that combo from MCY, it's going to go down, and decaten might be able to capitalize finally. For so long throughout this map, he's lost the advantage by such a tiny amount, but now's the chance for him to build and climb it up to the very top now. As it starts to distance away to a degree of impossibility, it seems like decaten has gotten it.
Yeah, a solid performance in the ending section, which is mad because this map does have a difficulty scale to it. The streams increase in spacing towards the end. A big spinner to finish it off. Decaten will hold to the end. mcy4 not able to bring anything to the table at the end, and it is another point for decaten, the one he needed.
Yeah, beautiful pick there from decaten. Beautiful win. It was so close, man. I mean, this is just going to continue, isn't it? It's just going to keep getting more and more intense. There's only one breakpoint that separated both of these players so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if decaten pulls off a breakpoint on any of these maps. Hard Rock 1 is still open. DT1 is still open. 2 picks that decaten is very capable on. Other maps that mcy4 can lean onto is the No Mod 5, for example, Senseless Massacre. But that map, I think, although being very speed heavy, is very simple in its speed style, you know? There's no BPM reversions. There's no massive finger control. The aim style isn't that intense. So being able to mash this is very tame. But it won't be picked just yet. It's going to be hidden 1 for mcy4 here. Definitely a solid pick. AR9 aim density. Definitely capitalizing off that gimmick low AR weakness from decaten. So yeah, not surprised here. Decent pick, decent pick.
Yeah, I think I'd be very surprised to see mcy4 go into No Mod 5 at this stage. Like you said, it's very double tappable. So something like this, which is mainly reading focused and is caused a lot of difficulty for players. This AR9 style density, awkward high BPM style of map. You've got some perfect stacking on sliders to watch out for. The difficulty spikes in this map, you'll be looking towards the chorus and ki times. The beginning and the ending of those really have some nasty sections designed to catch players out. So far, so good for both these players. Good accuracy, good combo going into the first quarter.
Yeah, this map is a general consistent test of that AR9 density practice, but there are a few moments where the aim just really spikes. You saw a moment there earlier where it really ramped up, and both players thankfully holding on, but decaten had to suffer a small accuracy loss for it. But so far, so good still. Combo still intact. Accuracy massively in favor of mcy4, giving him 10,000 score in his favor. But this map runs for a decent amount of time. This is 4 minutes long to march, another 4-minute map here. So big combos are paramount in this. And we're soon going to be seeing another one of those big jump sections where we might just see a big drop here. Big jump section there. decaten is going to drop down first, and mcy4 still holds.
Yeah, again, talking about the end of those ki times, they're really tricky and very easily caught out for the unprepared. Even for the prepared, can still run into issues. But so far, so good for mcy4. The door is open for him. All he has to do is carry on.
Here, is mcy4 going to hit it? He hits the entire thing. Not only that giant square pattern that we saw previously, but that pattern there. Excellent stuff here from MCY. He just isn't giving decaten any room to breathe. decaten, though, admirably, still sending some decent combos here, hitting at the same patterns as well. It's just that pure combo game which is leading him to struggle. it's just a minuscule difference in consistency, which is giving, and comfort as well. That's giving mcy4 that lead. This really isn't too bad of a performance from Decaten. Just that tiny minuscule slip up, which is giving him that big grief of the combo difference here. 1100 combo now here for mcy4. Decaten and mcy hit both the big jump sections. Another one here, again, hit by both players. And there's finally the drop there from Decaten. Just a slight miss-aim or mistap there on the note before the slider. And that will definitely be spelling the end of it now. mcy4 on a rampage. Finally, yeah. There we go.
Yeah, the double drop as well will spell the end for Decaten, as he's got nothing left in the tank. It's basically a match with mcy4, and with that chain miss going into that slider, put him even further behind his goal, but there isn't even 250,000 score left in this map as far as I'm aware, so unfortunate for Decaten, but he's not going to be picking this up.
Definitely not, unfortunately. mcy4 just absolutely tearing it for the first 3 quarters of this map. It's finally where the ending, where we start to see that consistency crack just a little bit. You know, when you're so locked in, as soon as you lock out a little bit, you start to lose a little bit of that consistency. But yeah, overall, mcy4 just simply the more comfortable, just the stronger player. Not by too giant of a scale, though. It only started to become towards the ending where Decaten started getting a few more misses, which was at a close, similar time to what mcy4 dropped. So this could have been a lot closer than it looked. But unfortunately for Decaten, it just wasn't enough. He wasn't being able to be consistent enough, and just on the tiny, minuscule details, slipped up when mcy4 didn't. He will be the one to take the map once again. It is another back-to-back. Still remains to be that singular breakpoint difference, which is giving mcy4 that 2-point lead. Decaten needs to pull a breakpoint soon, otherwise this is going to become too oppressive. It's going to become too difficult as the maps start to thin in the pool.
Yeah, you're going to start to limit down the picks that are still remaining, or on that 4-2 scenario right now. I'm praying that we don't get the what I call the default score of that 6-2. I don't want to add that to the pile.
I don't want that, no, please, don't do it.
This match is, there's too much to offer in this match. But looking at the kind of picks that Decaten has still got up, he might try and go into that Nomad 4 potentially. It was a good pick for him last week. Could also go into the high approach rate as well. I don't see him picking into the Nomad 3 that he Deconstruction Star, or Deconstruction Star, sorry. Because that map's probably a bit too RNG.
Yeah, it's a little tough to decide here. I mean, yeah, Nomad 4, a solid pick for Decaten. But I wouldn't be sure on this. I'd be a little worried. There's no doubt that mcy4 has potential to perform very well on this. There's still a hit of fear on this one, but considering Decaten picked it and did have some good previous performances earlier on, safe to say that he's confident, and that's a good sign, all right? We gotta give the man some slack. He knows what he's doing better than anybody else. But I still can't help but think in the back of my head that mcy4 has potential in this, definitely. He's incredible on stuff like this. And I think if this was against any other opponent, I think mcy4 would not be afraid to pick this himself. Here we go. A little bit of a chill build-up section here. What? Decaten, no! The slow slider! That's really tough. That is a bad miss. Terrible timing for him. There's slow build-up now for mcy4 to capitalize. mcy4 doesn't know it yet. He assumes that Decaten is still holding on. So that lock-in is still there. There's no chill. There's no confidence. mcy4 still has to really, really stay confident in this to keep on pushing. And as we start to get into the first PI, the stakes are so low for him. He can easily miss on this and still be able to capitalize with a good advantage. Decaten, though, he's not training too far away. He's got a good recovery. This PI could still make some big impacts for him. But no, he goes down, and mcy4 refuses to drop. As this starts to build and build more and more, if mcy4 is to hit this entire thing, this could get really bad. This is a 3-minute long map, and any combo that you can build towards the start matters immensely. Even so, Whether or not decaten held, it's still mcy4 holding on to the full combo. Good accuracy as well, a good 2% in his favor. We're seeing a consistent pattern here, Dimash, where just the minuscule differences are just building and building and turning into insurmountable disadvantages here for decaten. And as we start to get the flowing stream section, it seems to just get more and more dire. 120,000 score now in mcy4's favor. And if he hits all this, I mean, it has to be Jova, no?
I mean, the thing about this map does find a break, but this map really doesn't let up. It's high intensity from now to the end of the map. Back into these slider jumps again. And decaten does have the opportunity to pull this back, but it is going to require a complete lock-in from here right until the very end, because he's trailing by 95,000 score. mcy4 starting to build up a support combo to hold him at bay. Decaten will begin to close up. Accuracy starting to level out as well. It's going to start to go over, but there is so much time and so much he's got left to hit.
Oh my god. This map gets so difficult. It's just consistently going up. What can decaten do? He's just in a chokehold with this. I mean, he's got so much score to build. And it's just, the map just keeps getting harder and harder to mark. Like, this is the harshest outcome that could come for decaten. He's got a combo advantage, but he's got the most difficult part of the maps that just keeps on going and going and going. And mcy4 is capitalizing off it. 704 combo, able to just keep him away. And even if decaten has 300 combo now, I really don't think there's going to be enough time here. There's a lot of flowing here to come through now, a lot of aim control. But as we start to approach the ending, I think it's going to be too little too late. Whether or not decaten holds or not, it seems to spell the end. It is starting to close in a tiny bit, but that's still 50,000 score difference. And mcy4 will be getting another breakpoint, and that might just spell the end. One more map, and mcy4 will advance once again. decaten, unfortunately, not finding the benefit that he wanted. He found some good chances, but just mcy4 was just the stronger player, as simple as that. This is still a solid score from decaten. I would not fault him on this. It's just unfortunate that mcy4 played so well.
Yeah, mcy4 just had that. He was able to take advantage of that that early miss from decaten. That is really what spelled him. He dropped so much combo as a result of that slow slider that he misaimed. So that is, he was essentially playing catch up from that point on, and he just wasn't able to outperform. I think if he'd managed to build up that earlier combo, we would have been looking at a very different matchup. Not necessarily a different result, but a different situation entirely. But a DT1 coming out from mcy4.
DT1? I'm surprised by this. No mod 5? Okay. I see you, MCY.
I mean,
MCY doesn't want the 6-3 cast either, don't it actually looks like.
I do understand the no mod 5. The no mod 5 is very double tappable. You can combo game it quite well. It's a very risky pick. The one thing we found throughout this weekend is that no mod 5 is very, very risky. So it's a good map for mcy4, but decaten should be able to handle it quite well. But this 276 BPM, AR 10.5, aim and burst tapping.
Classic.
Yeah, it's Christmas in April, my dude.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, these guys both hope they're on the nice list. Hope that they get blessed on this. So far, both players looking good as we get into the first PI of the map here. Accuracy leaning quite a bit in favor of mcy, but he does drop. And that gives decaten a little bit of leeway to potentially get a good advantage as long as he hits this ki. These verses on the map are decently tame. It's more those ki sections, and especially towards the end. That guitar solo section with that giant stream and that big, long jump section is really important. But outside of that, as long as those ki's remain intact, decaten is going to be able to soar ahead now. That small slip up from mcy could punish him massively here. It's up to decaten to build this and hopefully not slip up on many of the jump sections here, for example. Seems like he's looking good so far.
Yeah, you're kind of looking at if decaten makes it through that bridge section, which comes after the second ki, you know it's going to be over for mcy4, despite what he'll do. But again, if decaten finds a break in that bridge and mcy4 will make it through, this is the important part. If mcy4 holds and decaten breaks, we could be looking at a flip. But this stream is coming up. Who is going to hit it? Both, neither, one or the other.
This is the hardest part of the map here. mcy4, it has the highest odds of breaking on this one. Decaten, as long as he holds on or trades it, it's going to be victory here. And both players hit that giant jump peak. Who's going to hit the stream? Anybody going to break on it? Oh, no, it's not. It's going to be a big actor from both players, but still holding on to the combo. And that might just be sealed here for Decaten. He might manage to get it, but he drops. But it is traded, thankfully. A bullet dodged. Thankfully. That slip up from Decaten breaking just afterwards is not going to matter. Not going to be punishable. Even so, I think it would be a steep hill. I don't even think he would get it by then either. Even if he won. Even if he held on for MCY. But no, not going to be the case. A breakpoint has finally been traded here for Decaten, and we are not going to be seeing the 6-2 curse chat. We're not going to be seeing it. It's not another one of those. Thank mcy4 for the DC1 pick. And it will be Decaten to take it. It is now going to be Decaten's opportunity to make that 5-4. Decaten just disconnected from the lobby. I don't know what happened there, but...
No, that's not a good sign. I'm not going to say anything because we don't see it now. We won't know until we get to the next map. But
I think his score locked, so I think it's still fine.
He might just be resetting.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, the
there
script, if nothing else.
There is a. Yeah, there is a delay on the Bancho thing, so it's not like he left mid map. He probably finished the map as Bancho was tracking it. He left, which is why it auto disconnected. But it is fine. Decaten probably is still chilling, but with the pick situation...
He's probably just got off on the wrong stop again. Just needs to hop back on the next train. I had to. It was there.
A train pun, really?
I had to. It was too good not to. It's just the wrong stop. He just needs to get back on. This ain't over.
Yeah. Next stop. You know, MCY got off on a station ahead of him, so he's got to just hop on the next one. So for Decaten's next pick now, what are your thoughts, Dimash? Hard Rock 1 is open. You've got... What else? What else do you have? No more 3? Deconstruction Star?
He might just take the... Oh, he's going to go...
Hard Rock 1. Hard Rock 1, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was either going to be Hard Rock 1 or he's just going to take a risk on Nomad 5, but... No, the Hard Rock 1, again, kind of sensible when you look at the fact that he won the Hard Rock 3. mcy4 banned the Hard Rock 2. Hard Rock 1 just kind of makes sense when you look at it from that perspective, so... I don't think there's really much more thought than that.
Alrighty. It's time for Decaten to try and pounce back. He's got on a good breakpoint now, and as the map pool starts to thin, mcy4's flexibility is going to thin a little bit, and he's not going to be able to be as confident. But it all reigns on whether or not Decaten can pull the clutch on this. mcy4 is clearly afraid of Decaten's raw aim. We've seen it on the Nomad 1 ban, and we saw that in the DT1. Is that going to be reflected in this match once again? Decaten is a force to be reckoned with on these aim maps. But mcy4 is not far away either. This is another one of those maps that could get really, really close. So far, past this little intro section, both players looking solid so far. Until we get into the Ki, I don't think there'll be any slip-ups, never mind. mcy4 drops on that small stream section, and that gives Decaten an opportunity to build this combo lead until the Ki.
Yeah, that slip-up is a good sign if you're Decaten, but again, Decaten has got a long way to go. Still a lot of this map. We're only a quarter of the way through. And again, it's very consistent, this map. Good balance between the aim. There's the miss coming in. A bit of a tapping check for Decaten and mcy4. That 300 combo is looking a little bit uneasy if you're a Decaten fan.
Yeah, this is a threatening combo advantage mcy4 has at the moment. About 350 combo more or less. No, he slider breaks. Oh, that's a really tough miss. When you have a lot of room just after the hitting the entirety of the Ki, that one slider just being the deficit here, losing your combo and losing that chance to build and maybe get the flip back. That's tough. And decaten's not having any of it. He's still holding on. Hits that stream section. And there's a little bit of a slider jump section now. This part can get a little bit dangerous, a little bit scary. There's the 1/3 hit by both players, and decaten still holds on to the combo. And as we get into Ki now, the aim starts to hit a little bit of a ramp up. The spacing starts to get up just a little bit. And decaten in the driver's seat to push this further ahead. About a third of the map left to go now. 63,000 separating them at the moment. It's up for decaten. This is decaten's game to win.
Yeah, he does have a big opportunity, which has massively increased in probability with that break from mcy4. 90k in the lead right now. He is mounting a sizable comeback on his final pick here. Quarter of the way through the map. I reckon if he reaches about 1k combo, we are looking at a decided result.
Decaten! This is clean! This guitar solo session just before the final Ki is looking gorgeous for him. He hits those 2 jars, he hits that 1/3 section, and he is soaring right now. 500k secured for him. Is he going to be able to replicate his score from yesterday at 600k yesterday? Can he build that back? Can he replicate it? Because I think whether or not he wins or loses is not something that's in the question right now. Decaten has very clearly taken this one, I think. As we start to approach the final quarter of the map, as we get to the ending, the jumps will start to hit a peak. Can decaten do it? 580k and climbing 590, 600,000 score now. Is decaten going to finish this off? Is this a full combo? No, it wasn't. It was a break just beforehand. A reverse choke, effectively. And it seems like he's done it. As the easier ending notes start to come through here, decaten has pulled a masterful reverse choke and has managed to capitalize off that great breakpoint on the DT1. mcy4's fears did indeed come true. And decaten wins on another raw aim map that gives him 4 points on the board now. It's mcy4's final pick. If he loses this, tiebreaker is happening.
And again, there's not a lot of pressure on these players to survive. We will see both of them next week, regardless of the result. So it really is all just about staying in that winners bracket. But decaten has done all that he can in terms of pick selection. It's going to be down to mcy4, and seeing what he is going to go into.
What is it going to be? What is it going to be? It's Deconstruction Star.
I thought it'd be. It had to be. It couldn't be that No Mod 5. It's too risky. It's too risky.
Poetic. Same map being picked at the same stage, similar to Worst Day Child Player and MREC. Sure, the circumstances are different here. But another moment where Deconstruction Star, probably one of the most famous maps that's in this map, or if not the most famous map in this pool, going to be played once again to decide whether or not we see a victory or a tiebreaker. It is indeed time. What are your thoughts on this, Dimash? Because, considering mcy4 made this his last pick, I don't think he's as confident as some may think. But this map is really spiky. This is a long map, by the way. Just under 5 minutes long. And has some very difficult Ki times, but a lot of slow parts as well, where building combo is really essential. So you have to hit those hard parts.
It's going to be this intro and exit section. Like, the intro is very important.
Yeah.
Because you'll see just how crazy this is. Any player that can combo through this has a massive advantage going into the latter half. And decaten's going to be the first one to fall. mcy4 driver's seat right now and needs to pull through this. Doesn't drops, but decaten also matches, so score margin established at this stage.
Only by a little bit though, and mcy4 does drop just at the end. And there's the room for decaten to try and push this back. Oh, just barely hits that burst. Look at the act drops there from Decaten. Dropping a little bit of score, but still has that combo advantage. And there's a slow section, a little bit of a slow verse time now, until we get into the next key of the map, where we're going to be seeing those really sharp, rapid linears, which are really messed up in difficulty, to be honest. The intro and outro sections are by far the hardest parts, but these key times are no slouch at all. Can Decaten still build this and keep himself in that lead? mcy4 drops on the burst. And it's up to Linears now. If Decaten is to hit this entire section, this could get really beneficial for him, but he drops. And mcy4 still has the score lead from the accuracy.
Yeah, he threw away a massive opportunity. These wide angles, that really opens up potential for some combo advantage. Not going to happen on this one, but we've still got a few more to come, which should open the door. But a bit of a slower section now. Some nice combo.
Yeah, this combo game is very, very close. It's another verse for our players to chill on. So mcy4 has... go on.
I was just going to say, it's going to add a bit of tension as well. They're not going to know what each other have been scoring, but into the halfway point, Decaten will know that his accuracy is not where he'd like it to be. And that is the situation we're in. It's not a combo game per se, it's an accuracy game at this stage, and it was all damage done in that early first section. It can all change towards the end, because we will hit another one, and mcy4 may run into the same difficulty, but it's all about this first drop between here and the last quarter map.
Oh, Decaten, no! Mistimes just a little bit, and that leads to a drop, and that might just spell the end. mcy4 hits all of it cleanly. Great accuracy as well. No tragic drop from him. And that might just be the end. I don't think there's any room left for Decaten to build anything. After this slow section, there's a more difficult Ki section and the exit section, which is just ridiculous. There's no room. And mcy4 can just build. Dimash, this might just be GG.
Yeah, you've got a big ask from Decaten to hit the remaining... He needs to FC the rest of this map. That is the bottom line. mcy4 got a bit of an easier task. If he can get through this next KI time, he's going to have secured it, because he'll be 100k ahead. And Decaten's not going to be able to mount that kind of comeback in time. But it'll be between here and the KI time. It's going to be crucial. Can't afford any mistakes for mcy4, but certainly not for Decaten.
What else can you do here? mcy4 starting to approach 1,000 combo now. And these parts don't get easier to march. This isn't a situation where Decaten can easily build a comeback. There's no advantage, and there's no section that we know is comfortable in his favor. This is an evenly matched
slider break.
No.
Oh no, it was a Bancho.
And there's Decaten. Dimash, no. Oops. The fire in your eyes. Oops. I don't even see your face, and I saw the flame in your eyes after you saw that Banjo break there from mcy. That could have been anything, but no, not anymore, unfortunately. mcy4 still remains to be the one to hit everything here. It's only that early break here. This is practically still a reverse choke here from mcy. Now, the question is he going to be hitting the outro section here? Reminiscent of that early section that was so essential for building the early combos for both these players. Decaten's run, unfortunately, in this match is over, but mcy4 can still end this off in style and reap fear into everyone's eyes after this one. Is he going to be hitting the ending here? The hardest part of the map by far, the biggest tension in this. Is mcy4 going to do it? The final hits come through, and mcy4 hits it cleanly. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful reverse choke, 650,000 score, and the victory for mcy4. One miss was all that there was. And maybe a slider break, but that's it. That's all there was. until then, that is it. I believe. Wait, have we been? Are we not in the stream anymore? Can people hear us? I don't. People can't hear us. People can't hear us. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see it now in the stream. I got it. Sorry, chat. I'm sorry you couldn't hear what we just said. But essentially, we just said that Decaten is awesome, and he did really well despite losing, because mcy4 was such good form. But yeah, I think it's time to head off now. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I've been
Although, before you say that, we've
go on.
still got one more match left.
We do indeed. Go on, plug.
Of our final match of the weekend, we have got Zootinator versus Nineric. It is coming up in just a few minutes' time, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. I'm Mashiba, Drummer Damash, and we'll see you all next time. Don't go anywhere. You got another banger coming up soon.